Okay, so let's see under this shelf here, we've got some white grow lights.
Yeah.
It looks like there's 4, so like you got one on each side. And the plants we have here, ooh, look at these variegated
Haworthia. This one's not doing so well these days, but and then Sansevieria.
Oh, that's a really nice
it's like braided in the heart.
Nice.
Yep. And we have some phyllos and other foliage tropicals here. It's kind of a random combination. Yeah.
So how long have you had these guys here?
These guys probably been here for, a good 2 months.
Nice.
Yeah, and these guys were just brought back and they're kind of isolating right now, and I don't see any bugs. That's why I put these plants near them. So these ones are probably only a month.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so let's take some measurements right here.
So
Nice.
330, 350. Yeah, it gets, if it's the plant is taller, then it goes to like 500-600. So this Sansevieria is getting quite a lot. Snake plant.
Yeah.
Or Dracaena these days.
I'm gonna keep calling it Sansevieria.
Me too. Yeah, so the least it has is about 300.
Okay, so we took some good measurements of the strength. Now, so it's about 300 for the lower plants, and then 500 or above as you move closer to the grow light.
Yeah.
And now, how long do you keep this on each day?
It's 12 hours.
12 hours, okay, cool. So the thing is, with natural light, we can't really control how long it stays on, and also we can't control the level, right? Because the sky changes all the time.
Yeah.
But with grow lights, we can do something called calculate the DLI, the daily light integral, meaning the total number of photons that hits the plant over the 24-hour period, right? So
yeah, this is much easier to actually, give your plant the hours that they need. Yeah.
I was trying to think whether or not I actually want to I could probably do it. We are going to do some math on camera here. Okay, so you said roughly 300-foot candles, right? And that works out to ppfd for the white grow light 0.2. So then we have 60 ppfd. All right. So how we calculate this is this number 60. This is 60 micromoles per meter squared per second.
Okay.
And what we want to do is, because we know that you keep this on for 12 hours, we have to know how many micromoles is that over 12 hours, because this is only per second, right?
Right.
Which means we multiply it by 60 for number of seconds per minute, then 60 again for number of minutes per hour, and you keep it on for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So I multiply by 12, and then I have to divide it by 1,000,000 because this is in micromoles, mu, like the yeah. So then I divide by 1,000,000 to get it to just moles.
Okay.
Okay, so that means 2.6. That means the plants receive 2.6 moles per day of par light, right? So like what does that mean? That means it's just like if you imagine total distance traveled, you calculate that by having the speed multiplied by the time. So what we just measured is like a speed, like a rate, and we multiply by the time, 12 hours, in order to get the total distance or the total moles received.
Right.
Right. So 2.6, just to put it in context, if I was to take my light meter outside, right, and have the sun shine on it, it's 10,000 foot candles, or roughly 2,000 micromoles. 10,000 times 0.2 to get to micromoles is 2,000. If I multiply by 6 hours, which is the definition of a full sun plant, more than 6 hours, that gets me 42 moles per day. So 2.6 versus 42 outside. That's sort of like I guess you could say, the calibration we need to understand amount of light received over a whole day.
When it's indoor. And
when it's indoors, even right next to a window, if you're between 1 to 4, it's already pretty good.
I see.
And unfortunately, sometimes I see pictures of like a small window and a plant that's 10 feet away from it.
Yeah.
If I was to take a light meter, it would probably be, you know, less than 50 foot candles.
Yeah.
Multiply that by even 12 hours, even if the sun lasted all day, like perfectly the same consistency, it wouldn't even give me 1 mole per day, right? And once we start calculating this DLI thing, which is a lot easier for grow lights because as I kind of noted, natural light changes all the time. So you can't really, you have to literally like have a spreadsheet to calculate this kind of stuff, right? But with grow light, you can calculate it because you control how long it is and it stays the same strength.
Throughout the day, yeah.
So then we're going to do this for your other grow lights because then that way you can, then you can decide whether you've seen this plant. If it's grown nicely, then you can leave it. If it's kind of, you want it to grow a little faster or whatever, then you can move your grow light closer and then recalculate and see what like DLI gives you the desired growth. Right? Because this is all kind of like it's kind of like subjective, right? Yeah. It's like, do I like what this plant is, how this plant is growing? Yes or no? And of course, that changes per plant. It changes per person. It changes even within the same species just because of having a different plant. Yes. Right? Yep. Okay, so let's go and calculate the DLIs for your other grow light setups. Sure.
I'm gonna move this away. This kind of failed propagation experiment.
Okay.
Sorry, just a second.
Oh yeah, no problem. You know, people can't see the dust in the video.
I know, but it just bugs me because like the leaves fall and then like Hoya flowers fall and become sticky.
Yes.
So like all the dust just like stays there.
Yeah. Okay, let's start by measuring some of the plants under this grow light here. Whoa.
Yep, this is the strongest one.
Yeah. Let me zoom in here to show you. Yeah. 2,000, sweet.
That's why I put all my succulents here.
Yes. And so this grow light here is, you keep it on for 12 hours roughly?
Yeah, maybe 10.
10 hours, okay.
Yeah. This one I time it by like smart home.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
So even at the edge, there's about 800.
Let's see. Edge 800, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really good for all succulents. Yeah, and anything that's more intensive. This is a sweet one. If you want it.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's Haworthia, but it's so heavily variegated. Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So what other interesting ones do you have under here?
Here, there's a pretty cool Haworthia here. It's a little dehydrated right now, but yeah, it has like pretty cool windows. Yeah. This agave I've had for years, and yeah.
Oh, nice. Don't you love how agave, they look like scaled down mini versions of huge ones?
Yes. Yeah, they literally just can look like a giant plant or a small one.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What's this guy here?
This is a type of succulent too, but it's I don't remember the name.
Okay.
It's interesting. Yeah, but this I got as like a arrangement from somebody, and it has no drainage hole. Yeah. So I have to just water very carefully.
Yeah. But of course, keeping it under this light here is gonna make sure that it uses up the water very, very efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so wait, before we measure this stuff here, I want to say something. Because I can see that there's a little bit more pinkish light here, that it might throw off a meter a little bit more, like meaning that there could be some higher PPFD than what the foot candle reading would give you. Right. Just because of the difference in the way that foot candle is defined versus par, right? But I mean, because these are still generally white lights, that they'll still be pretty well correlated. Okay. Anyway, so yes, but I will use the spectrometer later to get a more clear reading. But let's take a reading of these Hoyas here. Yeah. It's about 450, okay, nice. Close to 500 if it's a little bit taller plant. Yeah. And it's also, so 700 here.
Because the strip is diagonally across
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
shelf.
take a look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah. So not every plant is getting the same.
Yeah.
But this shelf during this time of year also gets sunlight, direct sun.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
so in the morning, so some of these plants
Like
right
from the
now-
window right over here.
Yeah. So they get some really good, like in the thousands at
Okay,
times.
yeah.
So grow pretty good, I think. Yeah, I have 3 shelves just for Hoyas here.
This one's what, the
Curtsy
yeah. This one has always interested me because I like the Matilda, the small one.
Yep.
So this one probably is similar.
Yeah, I have that one too somewhere, but I've killed one before. Some Hoyas just love you and some don't.
Oh yeah, let me do the spectrometer reading.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see like compared to white light, the red and blue spike are quite a lot higher than this green one.
Yeah.
Because like if you do a regular LED over here, look at the difference between the shape.
Right, yeah.
The red is so much
Definitely
lower.
have a lot more red.
Yeah.
And this one was not even like a purple one. Like I think it's Barina.
Yeah.
And the color on the box is like some sort of white.
Yeah. Well, it is mostly white.
Yeah.
But
so they have even pinker ones for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, the graph is very different.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's just compare to natural light. It's always so fun to compare to natural. Nothing beats natural light.
Yeah, I saw this jumped really high just when I was turning over too.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on?
So these are Tillandsia xerographica,
Queen of Airplants.
Queen of Airplants.
Getting about 500 as well.
Nice.
Across the board. Yeah, they're very happy here, and honestly, I don't even really like. I water them maybe once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're still pretty happy.
Yeah. So you said this guy started blooming under the shelf?
Yeah. So this one started blooming right under here.
Nice.
Has some red into it too. So that means it's getting enough light. So if you see a spike and that's just pure green, that often means it's not getting enough light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But these guys have been under here, and again, you keep this on roughly 12 hours?
Yep. These are also timed about 12, maybe actually 14 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Okay, so Dave's Airplant corner is obviously your business, and I guess this is your corner where you keep your air plants.
Yeah, so these
stock.
are most of the air plants for the shop. I have a lot of my own collection in the plant room that you guys saw. But yeah, so here I set up this is basically a shoe rack, but it's like a ginormous one.
You know, I was wondering how you got the shelves to be kind of facing forward, and I realized, of course, if it's a shoe rack, it'll face forward.
Exactly. Yeah, so it kind of tilts.
Yeah.
So I like how, because if it's like a normal shelf, it lays flat.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really get any light, say from the natural light.
Sure.
So this in the morning actually gets some pretty good direct sun. And then throughout the day also I have these grow lights to help it get even more light, I guess. Yeah. So these are all just hanging up here with zip ties. These are just the same kind of white ones we saw down there.
Right.
And then I have some clasp one from before, and I thought might as well use it here at the top shelf because they don't get the same setup.
Right.
And and these would be around 3 to 500 foot candles at least too for most of these plants. So they're definitely a lot happier, and some of them are blooming right here under the grow light.
Cool. Why don't you share some interesting things that people can purchase from your store?
Okay. Recently, I really like the Funkianas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I do too, yeah.
So they're just really fun looking and I guess unique. And the bloom is an orange tubular flower, and it's
Right.
quite unique too in the airplane world.
Okay. Oh, have you seen the picture of the Funkiana that I showed you from rainforest flora in California?
yes.
Yeah, that thing like over 50 years old, and it's basically like a big hanging mass.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's my dream to go there one day.
Yeah, you definitely
myself.
need to visit. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what's this one?
This is a Gardneri, and this is
This is the one that the leaves curl under
downwards.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay,
So kind of like a dress. Yeah. So I like to use wires to help with that shaping. And
Okay.
also, it's just a really great way to hang it, and airplanes love to
be hung. Up,
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a Gardneri. I think this is a Moro type. So it's a few different versions of the same plant, but
Can I ask you about this guy here?
yes,
This to me looks like a tiny little Xerographica.
it is.
It is, okay.
Yeah. So this is a baby Xerographica
okay.
from one of the mother plants.
Oh, from the mother plant. So
yeah.
a pup.
So
off
it's a pup that I grew from one of the huge ones.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and one caution is don't remove them too early. Yeah, so they grow a lot slower and need a lot more care if they're still very tiny.
Right.
Yeah, so I have one on one of the mother plant right now that's already like almost half the size of the.
So would you say that like 1/3 the size is too early, or?
For Xerographica, I would say around half is good.
Oh, half, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a reading here. Oops, okay, yeah.
Yellow light.
Yeah, so yeah, we can see, well, I mean, we can see that it's yellow light, but also that we can see that because of the, like the shape, it's got a lot more red
Yes.
versus the blue.
Not much blue.
Whereas if we go down here, then we're going to see a much higher blue spike,
Yeah.
right? And then let's see, well, what's the strength? Let's go like right under here. It's kind of hard to get this device right under here, but
Yeah.
400 foot candles roughly. Yeah.
Yep.
And you keep this
Sounds
on
about right.
about 12 hours?
Yeah, these are 12 hours as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Because obviously every like different distance you put it, it's going to be a little different, right?
Yeah.
So like this guy here, it's probably going to be pretty high actually. What does it say? Yeah, 500.
500.
But that's like right here,
Right
right?
next to it.
Obviously the guys back there are probably not as high.
So it's not perfect, but I rotate it around after I soak them. So,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
so
perfect.
typically they're fine.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so thanks, Dave, for showing us around your different grow light setups and especially your Airplant shop. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool to see how different grow light settings and different, distance from the window and which side of the window gives totally different readings. Yeah, and some of them I kind of have an idea how bright it was, and like roughly what I would call it, like direct light, indirect light, indirect bright light.
Yeah.
But now it's a lot clearer what I'm getting, and I'm pretty happy with most of the readings.
Yeah.
A few areas maybe I'll do some adjustments, but
Right.
it's definitely very eye-opening to see all the different readings, and also on the
spectrometer.
Spectrometer, the different colors.
Yeah, exactly.
How that changes compared to like direct light when it was.
Yeah, I think that often, we just put our plants wherever, we maybe set up a grow light or something, but then, we're not really too sensitive to like exactly how different it can be, even just from distances, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, your Airplant shelf, because we saw that, there is quite a dark spot, far away from when you're kind of deep into that shelf. So then, you that you can either, you rotate, which is fine, like you just rotate the whole tray, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you can consider like if you want it to be more even, then you can like either install another light underneath, or even put one of those arms underneath, that kind of thing. So it's all helpful, and also that now that you have a meter, then you can be aware of exactly how different it can be.
Yeah, it's definitely a very helpful tool for any plant lovers out there.
Cool, yeah. Especially if you're going to use grow lights, because again, since you control the distance and you control the time, then you can really understand sort of like total light receive, which is the DLI thing that we calculated, throughout this video.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
So. how can people reach you and tell us what you have to offer?
Oh, yeah, I am on Instagram quite a lot, and yeah, I try to have content about air plants, care, and different species, you know, information. But I also talk about house plants since I started to collect them
Yeah.
a lot more these days. I have every kind of plants, succulents as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Instagram, Dave's Airplane Corner, and my website is davesairplanecorner.com, where I offer more than 100 types of air plants now, yeah, including hybrids and everything.
I've gotten quite a number from you. Yeah.
Thanks, there. Yeah, so it's yeah, so it's kind of my passion, and also turn into a little, you know, small shop here, and just
Awesome.
do everything from home. But,
All right, cool.
I also have a YouTube channel that
yes.
I start to have some, you know, interesting videos to talk about airplane care. I think what I really like people to know is how to grow airplanes indoor in North America.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that's what, over the past like 7 years or so, what I've learned the most is that a lot of care instructions online you might see is for places that are more humid, or they can grow it outside or at a greenhouse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so growing indoors is very different. Just like every other plant, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, cool. So yeah, thanks for doing this video, and I hope you guys found it helpful to be able to measure light and, you know, have some useful information for how to use grow lights.
Yes. Thanks, Daryl.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Hello. Hello.
Oh, now you let me pet you after this whole time, right?
Tired now. Yeah.
'Cause now you're tired.